Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be discussing the LA Kings' second overall pick and whether they select Quinton Byfield or Tim Stutzle second overall. Now with this year's NHL draft lottery over and done with, we now know picks 2 through number 8. Obviously the highest pick we know of at this point is the LA Kings, who won the second overall pick, and with Lafreniere most likely going at number 1, it leaves a pretty huge decision for the LA Kings, especially if they are going to go for a forward. Do they go for big-time centerman in Quinton Byfield or German left winger in Tim Stutzle? For some, this choice might be obvious, but there is a lot of different layers that will influence this decision for the LA Kings. So, who do I think the LA Kings should select second overall, and who do I predict them to actually select on draft day? Watch till the end for all my picks and predictions, and of course, hit that big red subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Now, to get it out of the way first, I think for the LA Kings, there are 2 options that they'll actually look at is Tim Stutzle and Quinton Byfield. Obviously, it would be a lot different if they were in a different position, because if they were number 3 or especially number 4, I think they would take a long look at a defenseman, that being Jamie Drysdale, who I think would be a perfect fit for the LA Kings. And another thing as well is it doesn't seem likely that the LA Kings are actually going to drop down in this draft. You have management from the LA Kings saying that dropping down is a pretty far out thing, and unless they get some fantastic trade offers or anything, it's not going to happen. So that narrows it down to a few prospects, but in my opinion, Quinton Byfield and Tim Stutzle are the best players available, and I think those are the 2 options that LA thinks about. Now, to be completely clear to you guys, and just put my bias aside here, I have Quinton Byfield number 2 and Tim Stutzle number 3 in my prospect rankings. So if I seem a little bit biased on Quinton Byfield's end of this video, you know why. But when it comes to the LA Kings, even if I think Quinton Byfield is the better prospect, that doesn't necessarily mean that he is the better fit for the Kings, because you have Tim Stutzle, who I think will be a left winger in the NHL level, and a great one at that, who might be a better direct fit for what LA's prospect pool looks like. You look at the prospect positions here, and let's just take away a guy like Quinton Byfield center-wise. You have Alex Turcotte, Rasmus Kupari, Gabriel Vilardi. You have friggin' Akil Thomas, who scored the golden goal for Canada in the World Juniors, Jared Anderson Dolan. There is some quality options there. On the right side, on the wing, you have some great options too. You have recently drafted in 2019, you have Arthur Kaliev and Samuel Vigamo. Meanwhile, Tim Stutzle being that left winger, if LA decides to put him that way, there's really not much on the left wing side for LA that really stands out, at least in the prospect pool, and Tim Stutzle would absolutely lead that by a country mile. But then you have Quinton Byfield, and if the LA Kings are going to select Byfield second overall, there would be some tough decisions that they will have to make. I mean, again, you have Alex Turcotte, Rasmus Kupari, Gabriel Vilardi, and a lot of other guys that you'll have to question if they want to go to wing or not. I mean, you even have Alex Turcotte, who I love a lot, who might be better suited for wing if they go for Quinton Byfield. And again, those are the decisions they have to make. Now, personally, I think Quinton Byfield, again, is the better prospect. And also at the same time, when it comes to pure hockey decisions, having too many amazing center prospects is one of the best problems to have. So, not bad for LA. But even though Tim Stutzle might be a better prospect pool fit for them, I still think Quinton Byfield fits the mold of the LA Kings, at least in the past, of what they're trying to accomplish. I mean, they've won those 2 Stanley Cups, and a lot of that was on the back end of great defensive ability, great shutdown guys. You have in their prime guys like Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty, who led that team on great defensive ability. And Quinton Byfield, although right now isn't a supreme defensive center, I think has the potential to be one of the best defensive players to come out of the draft. 6'4" center, over 200 pounds, and is already such a great skater, great hand-eye ability, and he could bring potentially everything you'd want in a number 1 center. To me, LA would have a wonderful time developing him, and if I'm going to have any guy to mentor friggin' Quinton Byfield, one of my choices would be Anze Kopitar. That is a perfect situation to be in. Now, that's not to say that Anze Kopitar wouldn't be a great mentor to a guy like Tim Stutzle. I think he definitely would be. But Tim Stutzle, you're not drafting him for his defensive ability. His defense is fine, but his bread and butter is those puck skills, is that great skating technique, and just the overall offensive awareness he brings. I don't think Anze Kopitar is going to further those offensive instincts, even though he's still a solid offensive player. To me, you have the mold of a 6'4" center who has great skating already, great puck hands, great everything, and potentially, if you develop his defensive game right, could become one of the best players, I think, in the NHL, period. And again, if I want anybody developing that defensive game, it is Anze Kopitar. So I think for the LA Kings, if they did select Quinton Byfield, it would be an amazing situation. And again, I think the complaints are there when it comes to their center situation, the decisions that they'll have to make. But again, having too many centers is an amazing situation to be in. And you have the potential of one of the best centers we've seen in the drafts over the past few seasons. And again, under friggin' Anze Kopitar's wing, I think he would be absolutely deadly. And even though I think Quinton Byfield is the better prospect, I could totally see where they come from with Tim Stutzle. As I said before, I think that left wing side in the prospect pool can be pretty barren. Even though I like Alex Iafallo quite a bit as their first line left winger, it's not exactly ideal. When you have a chance at a guy like Tim Stutzle, I think LA might take that as well, because in their prospect pool, they don't exactly have that high-end ceiling of speed and skill like Tim Stutzle brings. Even though I love Alex Turcotte to death, I don't think he brings that kind of offensive potential. I look at guys like Alex Turcotte, like Rasmus Kupari, who can fill some of the holes defensively that Tim Stutzle might bring. But at the same time, with his offensive potential, I could totally see why LA would need him. Because that's a player that, with LA, obviously they're not the greatest scoring team, but Tim Stutzle alongside a guy like Anze Kopitar would not be a bad duo. Now, if I haven't made it obvious enough in this video, I think for the LA Kings, what they should do is select Quinton Byfield second overall. To me, he just has, in my opinion, really the only potential that rivals Alexis Lafreniere in this draft as the best player in this draft. And when you look at the tools and the value that he could bring, for me, it would be too good to pass up, even with the quality amount of centers they have. With Quinton Byfield, 6'4", great speed, great skating, great puck handling, and although the defensive game, yes, can use some work, I think if he develops into that type of guy that can do everything for you, he would be an elite number 1C, learning from Anze Kopitar, the very best of the best defensively. I think that would be a perfect situation for the LA Kings, even if they might have to move a couple of centers to left wing. And I think LA is perfectly fine with doing that. Now, it's a much more complicated answer when we ask what LA is actually going to do with that second overall pick, and obviously I prefer Quinton Byfield and want to see him go to the LA Kings. Tim Stutzle is also a fantastic player who would show skill that LA hasn't quite had in a very long time, besides Anze Kopitar. And I think it will be a very interesting and difficult decision for the LA Kings, and I don't blame them whatsoever. But to me personally, if I had to bet on one player being selected, it would be Quinton Byfield. To me, he just fits the mold of the LA Kings. Great size, but great overall ability. Personally, if I was to pick one player second overall, it would be Quinton Byfield. And as of right now, I think the LA Kings think the same. And no, as I said before, I don't think they'll select Jake Sanderson or Jamie Drysdale second overall, unless they move down or something, which I also don't see as very likely. I think they will select Quinton Byfield second overall and call it a day. Especially with the 2021 draft looking absolutely stacked when it comes to defensemen. Again, I think it will be between Quinton Byfield and Tim Stutzle. But if I'm a betting man, which I am totally not, I think Quinton Byfield is the choice and will be the second overall pick by the LA Kings. But that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts on the LA Kings and their second overall pick. What do you think LA should do, and what do you see LA doing with that second overall pick? Whether it's picking a guy like Quinton Byfield and Tim Stutzle, trading down, let me know all your thoughts. Make sure you share this video with your friends, especially any LA Kings fans you might know. Get this out there, boys, and click on this card right here to watch all of my 2021 NHL draft content right in one playlist. My name is Nathan. I'm recording this at like 11 o'clock at night, but I'm still chugging along, baby. Let's go. I love y'all faces, and I'll see you guys next video or stream. Goodbye.